Hey guys, today we're going to be going over how to find the sum of a geometric series. So let's get right into it. This video is actually going to be kind of a copy paste of the last one, except this time we're going to find the sums. Last video we talked about whether they converge or diverge. Obviously, if they diverge, then there's not going to be a sum for us to find, but we'll go more in depth on that later. So just as a quick review, remember if the ratio is less, the absolute value of the ratio is less than 1, then the series converges and there's a sum. And if the absolute value of the ratio is bigger than or equal to 1, then the series diverges and there isn't a sum. So let's get right into it. So we have this, but this is a formula you guys should memorize. The sum is going to be a1, which is the first term of the sequence, divided by 1 minus r, where r is the ratio. Okay? So first, let's find what the ratio is. Well, if you guys watched the last video, you guys would know that the ratio is 1/2. Why? Well, because we talked about how, this is the formula for a geometric series, right? AR to the n. R is obviously 1/2 in this, so R is 1/2. Let me write that over here. And now, A1. Well, let's find what A1 is. Well, A1 is just if we take that first term, which is n equals 0, and plug it into our equation. So let's do that. So 3 to the 1/2 to the 0. Well, 1/2 to the 0 is just 1, and 3 times 1 is 3. So we have 3. So boom, our sum is going to be 3 over 1 minus 1/2, which is 3 over 1/2, which is 6. So the sum of this series would be 6. Good. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, so the summation from 1 to infinity of 5 over 3 to the n. So we in the last video, we talked about how to rewrite it. Let me just write the sum formula again. 1a1 over 1 minus r. So this, you can rewrite this as 5 to the 1/3 over n. We talked about how to do that in the last video. And again, we use that same formula right here, ar to the n, right? So r is going to be 1/3. And now a1, well, remember, we just plug in the first term. So n equals 1 to here. So this would be 5 over 3 to the 1, which is, oops, let me write a1. 5/3. a1 is 5/3. So now we're going to get 5 over 3 over 1 minus 1/3, which is 5 over 3 over 2/3, which is 5 over 3 times 3 over 2, which is 5 over 2. So the sum of this series is 5 over 2. Great. So now, next one. We're breezing through these. So, 1 summation of 1 to infinity from I can't talk. Summation of 1 to infinity of -2 to the n. Well, let me write the sum formula, a1 over 1 minus r. If you guys kind of see kind of savvy, I think you guys can see where I'm going with this. What's the ratio here? Well, the ratio is -2, right? Because that same summation a r to the n, right? R is -2. Now, this is where it ties back to the last video. Remember what I said here? If the absolute value of r is bigger than 1, then the series diverges. The absolute value of r is 2, and 2 is not less than 1. 2 is bigger than 1, which means what? If the r is bigger than 1, oops, this diverges, which means that there isn't even a sum for us to find. Diverges. Now, this is a very commonly missed problem because people are saying, oh, -2. -2 is less than 1, but they forget to take that absolute value, which is one of the most important parts. So, diverges and we're done. Simple. Alright. Last question. The summation from 1 to infinity of 3 to the n plus 1 over 5 to the n. We're going to have to rewrite this. So this would be 3 times 3 to the n. If I just rewrite the numerator, which would eventually simplify to 3/5 to the n, right? This would be because our exponent rules. So the sum is a1 over 1 minus r. So a1, again, we plug in that n equals 1 into the this right here, so it'd be 3 to the 1 plus 1 over 5 to the 1, which is 3 squared over 5, which is 9 over 5. So that means a1 equals 9 over 5, and r equals, oops, let's wait, here, let me write up here. R equals, what is r? Well, r is 3 over 5, right? 3 over 5. So now all we have to do is plug it in. So a1, 9 over 5 over 1 minus 3 over 5. So this is 9 over 5 over 2 over 5, which is 9 over 5 times 5 over 2, which means the sum is 9 over 2, and boom. That is our answer. So this is not necessarily hard. This is just something you guys want to have on lock, especially this formula right here. It's very, very, very useful. There might be some word problems, right, where they say, oh, the first term is 5, and the sum converges to 15. What is the ratio? Then obviously you'd have to mix around the variables, but it really helps you solve these types of questions. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a quick video, but I think this is probably one of the simpler topics in BC. But that doesn't mean that they don't test it. They do test it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments, questions, or anything you'd like to see, please comment below. Happy 2026. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next video.